Where do you think you're going, man? Huh? Huh? What the fuck? You think you're tough? Think you're tough? I'll rip your fucking head off! Don't you wanna play anymore? You like hide and seek? You like hide and fucking seek? Well, we're coming for you, asshole.
What's the matter, little boy?
Ready or not.
It's our turn now.
Run! Run! If you don't find him soon, I'll shoot you myself.
Welcome back to Let's Play Manhunt. Ramirez has finally made Cash's acquaintance, and surprisingly given him one last chance at survival, although just barely.
You guys think I'm sick? I'm just enthusiastic, that's all.
I have to believe Ramirez has gained a hunter's spirit from working with Starkweather for so long. If we're going to make him regret that decision, we're going to have to be very careful here. This is already working out in our favor. Now that we have a new suite of armaments, we can at least hold our own against a single hunter. Maybe not two.
I'm sick of all these games. Show yourself.
And certainly not if we're going to jump in front of them like that. I'll have to be considerably more careful if I want to make it out of here.
His girly ass is over here someplace.
Now that was a strange reaction. Going only halfway towards me and then stopping and turning around. We'll have to use this fluke to gain some leverage. I do recall seeing a second arrow down here, though I can't find the person it belongs to. You can at least be relatively sure this hallway is clear this time. So we can explore around a bit, see what we have to work with terrain-wise. Here in this extremely obscure location, got an old friend, the plastic bag, our very first murder weapon. There's also painkillers. If things go severely wrong, you can usually break free and come to this secluded area for a brief moment of respite. Through considerable effort, we finally gained some attention, now that we are where we want to be for the most part. And this should be perfect. Have this guy meet the same fate as the first one. Unless he also stops halfway through investigation. This is very bizarre. Normally these guys are on much higher alert.
Why can't we get some guys that's a challenge? Someone worth sacrificing.
All's well that ends well.
He blew it! He's over here!
Gunshots. Seems we've got a sniper to deal with as well. We're going to want to stay out of that courtyard area.
Jeez.
Fortunately, we won't need to go there. And he paid off with some painkillers.
First man brings me his severed dick, gets $10,000.
Sounds like Ramirez either hates Cash or really fucking likes him. Either way, we are not going to want to pay that bounty. That's for damn sure. So here they come, and they seem a little better armed than the last crew. Ramirez himself remains vigilant in his sniper roost, which makes this a much more dire situation than the one we just triumphed over. If we get spotted, we can expect death from no less than 4 directions. Like so. Unless we make a miraculous recovery. That was very improbable. But we're not in the clear yet. We have to isolate one of these guys and execute them. It's our only hope to progress.
Target is definitely
trying to sneak up on them.
God damn it, KIA.
They hate bodies just as much as anyone else, but they will react to any potential indicator of our presence with pretty much the same ferocity. These guys will be searching for us for a long time, and they'll keep each other's backs while doing so. Sometimes your only choice is to wait for them to go back to idle, and hope that one has wandered off from the group at that time. Because, of course, direct confrontation isn't even an option. And here is that moment I just mentioned. Probably our only chance. Now that we've got some serious firepower, we're pretty much in the clear. So don't want to take too many risks. Getting here is hard enough. Wouldn't want a freak accident to end it all right now.
He's hunkered up in the shadow.
But that went as well as I could have hoped. And the path is clear to finally enter the building.
Move into engage.
Somehow they can spot us outside, but that's alright. They were gonna see us soon enough anyway.
Call for fire support.
This guy is perhaps a little too focused. Here's our checkpoint. At least we won't have to repeat that previous part again. But the apartment is no cakewalk.
Oh, come on, little puppy. Walk into my sides.
The radar helps tremendously here. It's basically the only way to know beforehand where a person is going to be moving and where they're coming from in the first place. Now, I'm hoping he comes to investigate that gunshot. So when he does, pop around the corner and take him out. Glorious. Here's the room the first guy was holed up in. Not much of interest there. Oh, but over here we have some painkillers. And some cover. Not too many uses for it, but it's there.
That's got your 6.
Shotgunner upstairs. I always like to charge headlong at that one. He seems to have worse accuracy than most of the others. Path looks clear, but it isn't.
Hey, I can take him myself.
It's got a real badass up there. Except that he's run away and gone to get friends. And he's run away again. His backup was completely useless, though. Gotta wonder if he's ever coming back. While we're waiting for him, let's check out this room. Ugh. Let's not check out that room.
Bleed, motherfucker! Bleed!
I think Ramirez thinks we're losing here. Suppose he would after how thoroughly he triumphed over these guys. Yeah, I'm rather glad I didn't participate in this previous filming endeavor. Would be worth nudging that body out of the way for the painkillers, but we don't need them. And one last kiss goodbye to the gaping open abdomens. Moving hastily on. Someone's approaching, and we have a chance to get in shadow.
We're not getting a target, I think!
Been a while since we got to use real stealth in here. Just get in line.
You're slack!
Get them while their backs are turned. Holy shit, Ramirez is up here. Let's take him out. I guess that probably wasn't him. And over here is his sniper roost, complete with his rifle. Ah, but there's no one down there to use it on. The man himself's not here, so I guess he got behind us somehow. There he is. Oh, and I guess he's got backup. Fortunately, the war dogs will turn to face him as he passes to, I guess, salute or some shit. Use that as a moment to strike. You need to take every advantage you can get because they will tear you apart. Until you meet guys who drop health. If you're below half health when you kill them, you get painkillers.
Don't move.
And there he is, looking at Ramirez. Unfortunately, Ramirez has escaped the building, so we gotta chase him. There he is, but he's got more backup. Yeah, we gotta take cover. Now we know this area well enough that we should be able to take advantage. Eliminate the surrounding war dogs, then go for Ramirez himself. He's up on this pathway. Yep, there he is. Somehow he didn't see us. Now my idea here is that when he passes, he'll be running away from us, so his back will be turned. That is a chance for an execution, and no man is safe from execution.
Had your time on this earth, Cash.
One man is safe from execution, and he just killed us for trying. So there is a much safer method that we could take. Requires a bit of setup, and doing so usually waits out the timer, unfortunately.
Commie, prick.
Let's give this guy a real reason to hide.
So here comes the actual backup. They've got sniper rifles, and they can actually enter the building. They're the only guys who can at this point. And we've already had to run Ramirez out. So that means he's waiting in the courtyard, and we've got his sniper rifle. There he is. It turns out sniper rifles, not executions, are the great equalizer. Take out his nonplussed cohort, and then get the shotgun back, because his backup is coming right for us. Now, here in the apartment, they're at a disadvantage. Their sniper rifles are effectively equivalent to the shotgun, except they always do half your health bar. But they will be right in our face. They won't be able to get range on us as they normally would.
We gotta go in there as a platoon and drag that snail out of his shell.
And while they're disadvantaged, we can use stealth. Just like always. And that clearly was a very effective and safe method, but it wasn't Cash's method. We were challenged to take out the gang the way Cash would. And that's up close and personal. Getting rid of that right-hand war dog when one shot is a serious windfall. That guy's normally a huge pain in the ass. But with his backup out of the way, we can go for the man himself. He's really tough, but we can get health pickups off of all of the courtyard war dogs. Now I'm just going to wait for him to pass by again, and this time, do the job right. And there he goes. Yeah, I hope the director got a real good shot of that. His staff coordinator just got eliminated. With extreme prejudice. And that means our work here is finally done.
Get in, you idiot! Get in!
Pull over! Pull over! Who are you? I've seen your face before.
Get off of me! I'm a reporter! I was at your execution!
Keep talking.
I've been following Starkweather's operation for months.
Who's Starkweather?
The guy that's been talking you through this whole circus of death? Look, I've got all I need to expose that sick bastard, but he's definitely on to me now. So I have to get back to my apartment, collect my material, and get out of town before I become another one of Starkweather's extras.
You can bring him down? This Starkweather?
Absolutely. This is gonna make my career.
Okay, let's go.
Huh?
To your apartment. Drive!
And so another major blow has been dealt by our leading man. I will say, though, that this one didn't come nearly as easily as the previous. I don't mind telling you that Cash's odds of survival were infinitesimal, and the gameplay definitely reflects that. I died a hell of a lot getting through that scene, and I'm glad to be through it. Now that we are finally free of the last hurdle in Starkweather's plans for us. I have to doubt, though, that he's going to take that lying down. Meanwhile, we'll get to learn what the reporter has had in mind with us since the very beginning of the game.
I deal the card.
Ramirez is dead and out of the picture, so it's finally safe enough to discuss his exploits. We know him well as the leader of the War Dogs, as the Phantom Hand guiding the Skins and the Innocents, and now as Manhunt's first boss fight. And like the potential bosses we saw in previous videos, he too is named for a killer from the real world. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, provides his namesake and a bit of his backstory as well. The real Ramirez was raised in Texas and came in contact with an older cousin named Mike at a young age. Mike had served in the military special forces and fought in Vietnam. During his time there, he committed numerous atrocities on the citizenry while off the battlefield, details and photographic evidence of which he shared with Richard. Richard was also taught the military tactics of how best to kill from stealth, and witnessed firsthand Mike murdering his wife. This violent influence led Richard to a life of crime shortly thereafter, and when he moved to California at the age of 22, his own killings began. Through 1984 and 85, he broke into residences across LA and used a wide variety of weapons to attack men and women of all ages, often in sprees of multiple attacks in the same month, week, or even day. He was also a devout Satanist, and one victim survived when he saw sparks coming from the telephone cord he was strangling her with, dropped it in surprise, and fled when her resumed breathing convinced him Jesus had saved her. He used press coverage of his own crimes to destroy evidence and move between cities as they searched for him, but the coverage paid off when magazines printed his mugshot and a group of LA citizens chased him down as he walked the streets and held him for the proper authorities. Ramirez was still able to terrorize people even in the courtroom by hailing Satan on the stand, threatening to shoot the prosecutor, and the freak coincidence of a juror being murdered in her apartment during the trial, which was later found to be the work of her boyfriend and completely unrelated, but still unsettling. He was ultimately convicted of 13 murders, with a 14th victim being proven many years later, and spent the rest of his life on death row. I could go into the rabid fanbase Ramirez gained in prison, including a 17-year marriage, but by now we're a long way away from the inspiration for Manhunt's Ramirez. Our newly bested foe shows no signs of being the embodiment of Jack Chick's worst nightmares like the Night Stalker was, but he'd certainly relate to Mike Ramirez, the ex-military sadist who loved to exert his influence over those predetermined towards violence.